Hi, hello, and welcome to Vertex of Abundance. My name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today, and it's a delight and an honor to serve you. So my objective is to talk briefly about the Mission School. I'm going to do a call to action or just put out the call for people to join the Mission School. And I'm going to explain my version of the Mission School versus the traditional version of the Mission School, maybe at the end of the video, a little bit of an apology and an acknowledgement at the end of the video, just to kind of coming back to normal, resetting, rethinking, re-engaging for everybody. And this is also a call to come home. We're no longer in the pilot program of the Mission School. I figured out how to handle my new life, my new responsibilities, my new reality. And the Mission School is a part of keeping things easy and accessible for everybody. I do have to raise my fees for one-on-one coaching, counseling, services, sessions, things of that nature, including spiritual work, even if it's indigenous spiritual work through the Wadun. For those of you that don't know, in the middle of starting the channel, in the middle of starting the Mission School, I found out that I was a Mami Dahuno. That's true. I actually do Mami Da and Mami Wata work. And I had a lot of difficulty handling my spiritual children, handling my spiritual clients, and handling the Mission School. So I had to take some time to figure that out, and I had my ass hanging out there. So I figured out what that was, and I'm going to share a little bit about it, but I want this video to be about business. So I'll share that in my personal channel. So this is a disclosure briefing video, which means over the course of the month up until September 22nd, 2018, I'll be appending extra links to the About section underneath this video. The ones that you should see right now is the rubric, with also has attached to it the call for the Mystery School, with FAQs if you have questions. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about the shift and how I do my services, the shift in my offering, the shift in fees, my shadow story, a deeper apology and explanation. And there's really nothing to be sorry for. You know, I was serving my cause in your environment. You were serving your cause in my environment. And I'm excited because it's not really a second win, it's a second coming. And I want to talk about that. I want to put the energy out there for anybody else. Kind of, a lot of us we've gone through the dark journey of the soul, but we have been beginning to give meaning to this experience and allow it to press upon us in a different way. So ultimately, I did a performance review with the goddess on I received a performance review from the goddess around the end of June. And I've been unpacking this for almost 2 months now. And I'm going to talk about it. And in this call, I'm also going to do a little bit of a reading, but let me talk about this really quickly. So if you've ever bought anything from me, a reading, a course, the Mission School, I'm interested in hearing from you because I'm ready for you, okay? It seems like the ball got dropped a little bit too many times where we just kind of decided to wait and see and watch. The wait's over. So I'm fixing some cards here. So come on back, come on down. No, come on back in the door, in the gate, come home, and we'll get you started. If you have already taken a class, there's a dedicated email for you called governess@vertexofabundance.org. The link in the show notes will have access to that. Or the reminder of that if you need it. And this is the trumpet sounding. This is the call to action. Okay? So the call to action is, please join the Mission School. If you're an auditor, you don't have to pay until December 22nd. I will ask you after that date to pay a donation of some kind. Now, you're not going to pay for the course, so you can pay a minimum suggested donation of $9, and you can stay in the class until December 22nd. So from now, including the brand new class we do on the 22nd, all the way to December 22nd, the 22nd of September to December 22nd, is the brand new 12-week modulated class. That's also the website. You can do self-initiation. You have access to the cult library, all of that. I'll talk about that in another video. So those are the two people. The new people who have never paid for a class before, you're going to need to opt in. You're going to need to join the Temple Pay and do all of that stuff. For those who are auditors, meaning they came to the 2 pilot semesters last year, first and second, December 21st, June 21st of 2017, December or June of 2017, you don't have to pay. I will ask you for a suggested donation of $9, but you don't have to pay. You can pay more than $9 if you want. But you don't have to pay. You already paid for the course. You're going to get the course, okay? Now, what is the Mystery School? The Mystery School is my spiritual program for ascension and awakening, and it leads you through a path, connecting to your ancestors, figuring out your soul path, spirit, karma, life path, destiny. Let me share the screen here. If you're hearing the call for the Mystery School, you're one of these people, okay? So this is what we cover in the Mystery School, and it's pretty intense, okay? So I showed you that little paraphrasation there. The Mystery School is pretty intense. Now, it's not daunting, and you do have support and community, but we go through quite a lot of information in the Mystery School, okay? And this is available in the show notes right now. So what you need to do is, if you are interested in it, you need to click the Mystery School rubric, which is the master rubric. The rubric keys is actually the Mystery School master rubric and 13 keys. There'll be more over time, but there's 2 available right now. You'll need to ungroup it to view it, because you won't understand that viewing until you come to the orientation of the Mystery School. What we're doing right now is an inventory in the Mystery School. So you didn't miss much, but you can join and get an inventory, which means that's the reason you don't need to take this assessment. But after the 22nd, it's going to go up to $324. So you could just stop this video right now and send $234 over to, it's really Sales at Vertex of Abundance or Oracle at Vertex of Abundance or Governance. See, Governance at Vertex of Abundance is for students who are auditing. For new people or for questions or for people that are still trying to get a reading out of me, it's oracle at vertexofabundance.org. I don't do readings for the public anymore, and that's a temporary anymore, but it's going to be about to the end of the year. Around this time, I'm going to open up everything and no need for anything. So September 9th or before, 234. After September 9th, 324. Okay. After December 22nd, it's $432, and that's the price going onwards. And that's what my new fees are going to be for a 90-minute session. And the way that, and this is what it is right now, and the way that we're going to do it, it's just basically you can do a 6-month retainer where you come do a lodge. You join lodge, 13 weeks, which is 90 days. Are going to be classes, and then you also have community support all that whole time, an additional 3 months. Okay, so that's for $432. That's a great deal. Or you can do one-on-one 90 minutes with me for $432. So I don't want to hear people telling me it's not accessible, and I know you want to get me one-on-one, but I can't do back-to-back-to-back to readings like I could anymore. Once I became a Mami Dahuno and I started doing Mami Wata, Mami Da work, once I went through Ifa and all these other things, my energy works a little bit differently, and the deities and the spirits and what I'm channeling works a little bit differently. So I need a little bit extra insulation around me. So again, the call to action, or if you're hearing the call for Mystery School, you're seeking one of these 3 things. You're waking up from the dream, trying to take the red pill. You know, you're seeking your life's purpose and you hear it calling, or you literally do hear the calling. You're seeking your life purpose and calling, or you do hear the calling of your spirit, karma, life, past destiny. Okay, so there's 4 different times of the year when we have the school open for open enrollment. These are the times. So like March 21st, the ship docks at harbor. It starts boarding on the 22nd. It departs on the 25th. So we're going to start that cycle after the 22nd of December. So it's still open enrollment for a while until I stop. You'll know, but basically I'm allowing people that missed the boat before that have already paid to come in and audit, and I'm allowing new people to come in because this price change, this increase of the fee is going to freak people out. So I'll go through the rest of this in another video because I'm going to talk at length about things. I want to show you just a couple things and then I'm going to end the video. But this is the call to action. If you want to come to class, you could be at class as early as this Friday. And literally there's going to be back-to-back classes going on. And my version of the Mystery School is my spiritual technology module. Traditional mystery schools were only for really rich families, and it was for people that knew they needed to get embalmed and mummified so that they could survive the afterlife. It's not far from the truth. These people were trying to preserve their bodies. You don't need to do that. You have a spiritual body, an astral body, and a causal body, an etheric body. You don't need to maintain your physical body, but you do need to prepare for death and what happens on the other side, because life happens after death. When we die here in this realm, we wake up from a dream in another realm. And that's the whole premise of the mystery school. Now, mystery school is also a tradition of orally transmitted teachings, and they're usually like the great mystery schools of Isis. And so Isis is one version of the Great Mother, the other versions being Hathor, Sekhmet, and Ma'at. And that's the presider over the mystery school. Anyways, I'm a child of Sekhmet. That's one of my spirits. Basically, I'm a combination of Anubis and Sekhmet. Okay. Now, what do you need for a mystery school? You need the large thought deck, and you need the tarot handbook for Aleister Crowley. These other things, asterisks, I'll talk about them in another video, and it means they're optional. Okay. So the pilot program students, you can audit. That means you would have came to December 21st, 2017, that's the summer class of last year, or December 21st, 2017, that was the winter class of last year. Or if you paid for the class this year, it would have been June 22nd of this year, 2018. The next full bona fide class for the mystery school, and not just the lodge, opens up on December 22nd. So there's 2 classes of the mystery school and 2 coaching classes. I call them inventories. Basically, Lodge opens up for new attendance at these dates. Basically, the summer solstice and the winter solstice, the autumn and the fall, well, the autumn and fall is the same thing, the spring and the fall equinox, okay? So I'll explain this more in depth, but click the link in the show notes. Send an email to governess@vertexofabundance.org if you're wanting to audit. And if you're wanting to just pay the $232 and get through the door and get a couple extra classes and goodies, go ahead and send $234 to sales or oracle at vertexofabundance.org. So sales at vertexofabundance.org, oracle at vertexofabundance.org. That's the email to get started if you're not an auditor. If you're an auditor, it's governance at vertexofabundance.org. And you don't need to email either of these if you're already one of the people on Slack. If you feel neglected or anything, this video is the end of that, okay? I am done with all the stuff that I was getting out of the way. Everything's getting out of the way. It's out of the way, so I'm coming on back around. I don't feel overwhelmed. I'm organized finally. I'll share a lot more about that in a different video. Now, 2 videos are going to come out. What to expect from mystery school, and then my experience becoming a spiritual teacher, what my daily practice looks like now. Those are 2 videos that are going to come out. This is a disclosure briefing, this video. Disclosure briefings are like a precursor video to lead to a bunch of other videos. So it sounds convoluted, but it isn't. It's basically like a little snippet or an announcement of a theory of the month. There's a disclosure briefing every month. Virgo is forgiveness and redemption. Leo was living in God's house as a child, as a divine child, being what it is to be the fool on the way to the strength card, how it is to leverage your power here in the eternity of your spirit here in the physical. That was last month's disclosure briefing. This month's disclosure briefing is redemption, forgiveness, and purification. So we're in this month until September 9th. That's when we move into a different briefing. That's when we're going to move into the Lotus briefing, the Cosmic Lotus briefing. So that concludes the announcement for the Mystery School. It's 2:34 until September 9th. After that, it's 3:24. Between the 22nd of, between the 10th of September and the 22nd of December. And then after the 22nd of December, the price for an individual session with me goes up to $432. And then also the price for 6 months of a retainer with me through a group setting would be $432. Basically, to join the Mystery School, it's 1 hour of my time. The only difference is you get to speak to me personally 6 times over the next year for $432, or you would get me 1 time live in a 90-minute session for $432. It's up to you. And we're going to go to that price after December 22nd. I'm wanting you to send this $234 now so you can save yourself $90. Okay, but you have until the Libra new moon, which is on the 9th of September, because that's when the new year starts for the temple. We go from Virgo's the last month of our calendar, and that's the same for most people that live in Africa. Virgo's the last month who do spiritual work. Virgo's the last month of the year. Libra's the beginning of the year. So our year starts on September 29th. Our lodge is going to take people in around the 22nd. Basically, the ship docks in harbor on the 21st. It starts boarding on the 22nd, and it departs for the 12-week course on the 25th. And I'll explain a lot more about that metaphor and a lot more about the system and the structure in the video titled Shadow Briefing, How I Got Used to Becoming a Spiritual Teacher, What My Daily Practice Looks Like. That's the name of the video. And it's not available right now, but it will be available by the weekend. Today is the 29th. The weekend starts on the 31st, a Friday, followed into the 1st and the 2nd of September. Okay, so it'll be out by that time, and I just want to go ahead and let you know. And the website will be live on the 22nd of September as well. So that's another thing about the price going up. These people, you're coming in cheap for free. If you're an auditor, you only need to come up with $9. And then if you're not an auditor, it's $234 up until the website gets published on the 22nd of I'm flexible between the 10th and the 24th. If you're having some type of financial issue, or if you get paid once a month, or something like that, I'm flexible. But really, it's $234 until the 9th at my discretion until the 22nd. But after the 22nd, it's $324. And after the 22nd of December, it's $432. I'm sorry to hammer in that price, but that's the biggest question. What do we go over in the Mystery School? How much is it? What do I need for class? It's the biggest question. Frequently asked questions for the Mystery School. So take good care of yourself. Remember, if you're going to send money, if you want to audit, it's governess@vertexofabundance.org. And if you want to join, it's Oracle or sales at vertexofabundance.org. Oracle@vertexofabundance.org or sales@vertexofabundance.org. Peace be with you. Take good care. Namaste, Dandavat, and Ashe. Until we meet again, until we read again, au revoir, sayonara, and Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.